Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. Krispy Kreme hopes to make a delicious return to public markets today. The company will debut on the NASDAQ under a ticker symbol that only it can pull off, DNUT. Recall, Krispy Kreme was acquired by consumer goods investment firm JAB Holdings in 2016 for $1.35 billion. Using its IPO pricing, Krispy Kreme was valued at $2.7 billion. Joining us now is Krispy Kreme CEO Mike Tattersfield. Yahoo Finance food reporter Brooke DiPalma is here as well. Mike, good to see you again here. Congrats on the deal. Look, let's just start with the pricing here. At $17, that was below the $21 to $24 range. I'm surprised to see it, just given how far you've grown since you've been a private company. Is there a concern you're going to have to address amongst investors just based on where it did price?
Listen, today's a great day. I'm in 84 years that Krispy Kreme is about to turn in 2 weeks. And we've been a public company once before, and we're now again, and we're able to do that again because we've transformed the business. We've focused on a brand, focused on our culture, and really changed our business model. So that focus on the business model, as we really drove an omni-channel to make donuts, fresh donuts, following where the customers are, we were able to double the revenue and double the EBITDA. So when we shared that story, and you talked about, that we acquired the business a little over $1 billion, and where we are today, it's 2.5 times the value that's been generated. So when we chatted with investors and they saw the growth that we've had, it's really the tremendous journey that we still have in front of us, both in the United States as well as the globe. This is a global brand, which is really interesting because you have this shared occasions, which is what we do with dozens, accessible price points, and people love celebrating, right? So that focus on that brand transformation has been incredible as we've seen Krispy Kreme continue to go. So it's a great day. We're really pleased.
Yeah, great day for me too. Your team sent me about 100 of these donuts this morning ahead of the IPO. So thank you to the Krispy Kreme team. Mike, also too, you have an interesting approach to your business model. So you've been buying franchisees, taking ownership of them. That's a little bit of a different model, I would say, than others in the restaurant industry. Why have you taken that approach?
So that brand transformation I talked about, right? So it's a focus on the brand. In the globe, we only have 400 Hot Light shops, or a little less than 400 Hot Light shops across the globe. We love those shops, right? They're special. They produce the donuts. But instead of actually focusing on doing more donut shops, we actually try to figure out how do we actually build an omni-channel model to get to where the customers are. The reality is those donut shops are where the donuts are produced. So in the U.S., to be able to really drive the brand, a lot of the system in the past, a franchisor, franchisee, today we're a branded donut company. And so we bought back the majority of the U.S. system. So we have 85% control. And that really then allowed us to really expand the brand and get donuts to where the customers are, open up opportunities in fresh shops, for example, in New York, where we deliver donuts there daily, sometimes twice a day, fresh from our donut shops, as well as e-commerce and delivery. And actually also deliver donuts fresh from those donut shops again to the wholesale, select grocers, or select convenience shops. So it's a very different model. We run a branded donut company, and we've done that also in other countries around the world. So it's a very unique model of how you bring the same donut experience that you're getting at that Krispy Kreme donut shop, and then making sure wherever the customer is, you get it exactly fresh, just like you would at the shop.
Tactics, the day of the dozens, graduation dozen, and the COVID-19 vaccination incentive. Moving forward, how will these marketing tactics play a role for the company and also help in luring those customers in?
So one of the things the company's been focused on the community in its history, right? So there's been doing fundraising for 50 plus years where Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts would come in and pick Krispy Kreme up. Clearly 2020, where they couldn't get all the access inside of the shop, fundraising turned down. So we really stepped into the communities and gave health care, as you talked about, the teachers, the seniors. We gave away 30 million donuts last year. And even this year, you can see how we've made that, and we call it our Acts of Joy, foundational to the calendars. And this is not just the American calendar. These are the calendars where Krispy Kreme operates around the 30 countries of the world. So giving back to the community is absolutely part of our DNA. That vaccine promotion that we started in March, we've given away 2 million donuts so far. And if you show your CDC card, you get an original glaze. Today, you come tomorrow, you get another one all the way to 21. So it's about how we do that. The really interesting part is because we only have less than 400 donut shops, when people make the journey, they tend to pick up a dozen, right? So we're that shared occasion, and we've seen that, how it really works.
Mike, one of your chief rivals, Dunkin' Brands, which is now under private ownership, they have made a pivot the past 3 years, more coffee, breakfast sandwiches. Do you anticipate making some of those changes now that you're a public company and are going to have to really aggressively grow sales and profits?
So think about that again. I talked about these amazing specialty donut shops, right? We like them that they're less than 400. We'll build a few of them on a yearly basis, not a lot, because that's where you get the production. The unique thing about our business model that's different is to get access to where the customer is at. You don't need to build all these donut shops. A coffee house model requires extensive build out to get a daily ritual as coffee. Our incidence is about 2.5 times a year. We've grown that about 20% by focusing on donuts, focusing on the shared occasions, and then we drive frequency by getting access to where the customer is at. So we build a network effect, so you can either get that in a fresh shop, again, I've said e-commerce, or even in a wholesale shop. That's what's uniquely different. We focus on the donuts, and we really leverage these specialty, amazing hot light shops that we have. We love them. And to give you an idea, last year we sold 1.3 billion donuts. I love that. It's great about just the focus on being a donut company. You can see with our ticker. It's about donuts.
And switching, pivoting a bit, subsidiary brand Insomnia Cookies recently opened its 200th location in Pennsylvania. Moving forward, that really is a digital first company. How are you looking at the footprint of those locations? And might we see ghost kitchens in order to fulfill this demand and expand that brand?
Yeah, Insomnia is this incredible brand. It's warm cookies delivered, led by founder Seth Berkowitz, who's just done a brilliant job as he's thought about how do you bring cookies from an e-commerce and delivery model. Very similar from how do you get a shared dozens or more to customers where they at. They continue to have a strong build-out program, and so you'll see that aspect. The build-out of a cookie shop isn't expensive, so we can see them continue to use a very similar approach what they've done in their past. They just crossed their 200 location, but they'll look at omni-channel, which they're already doing with delivery and e-commerce. But again, love the margins of cookies and donuts. When you have a great gross margins in those two products, and you have a capital efficient model to get them to the customer, you can really build a great business.
Mike, you've had really one interesting career. So you spent, and I'm just going off your LinkedIn profile here, 12 years at Yum Brands. Then you went to go work at Lululemon, where you're the COO. Then you ran Noah, a bagel company. Then you ran Caribou Coffee here, and now you're back at Krispy Kreme. Why do you like the morning category so much, and what made you get involved with the food industry?
I've been a merchant my whole life. I grew up in Mexico, if you didn't know that. And my father really taught me a lot of trades from being an entrepreneur a lot in my life. So I've always been attracted to just amazing brands that you can build a unique culture, whether it's food, whether it's clothing. I even did a stint in limited brands. But it's that business model and the ability to, build something that can actually lead in the marketplace, right? And then the effectiveness of can the brand and the culture drive a position where that business can absolutely dominate in its case, right? So with coffee businesses or Yum Brands where you learn that global scale, I love those types of brands where they're pretty dominant in what they do every day. I've been very fortunate, and I love my family because they've been very patient as we've moved around the world a little bit.
That's a good point. Well, welcome back to Public Markets. Krispy Kreme CEO Mike Tattersfield, good luck on your journey. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. And good to see Yahoo Finance food reporter Brooke DiPalma as well. All right.
You got all those donuts. Remember about shared occasions. You got to share those, Brian, right? So
I'm going to have to.
Thank you.
I have I have to. I have 30,000 calories in my kitchen. I'm trying to fast here, so I'm going to have to get
All right.
Mike.
There's a lot there. Really appreciate connecting. Thank you to all the Krispy Kremers who show up every day. Take care, guys.
You got it.